Hey, Superior Shave fans that are humans, how you doing today on 6th of September 2024? This customer, well, I turned off my computer so that I have a lower noise floor, but I remember he's from Arizona and I believe his name is Jim. And Jim bought this bread and butter Thiers Issard Evide Sonnant Extra, the venerable 6/8 standard issue razor that they sell. And he bought at the same time this Evide convex Coticule boo, which I have used in several videos and I have enjoyed having it around. And he put a note in there saying, hey, I'd love to see a video of you honing that razor on that stone. So there you go. This is the video that we're watching presently. I need to tell you here when the glasses come off because my close-up vision is so bad. These are trifocals, but I still have multiple. I'd need 8 different types of glasses for working up close. It's just awful how bad my close-up vision is. But I shaped and put on the website all 3 of these lovely convex boos. Each one has a matching anti-stone. There you go. That's a purely driven Legrease, obviously. And we have this harder Vanet or Dressant one. Its little anti-stone is here. And this giant tank of Legrease paste. They all have a 6.5 foot diameter going down their longest facet. So on this one, it's 119 millimeters. And then it'll be 25 feet going across the facet. Just like is on this little Vanet. I had written on there, can you see it? Yeah, where it says 6.5 foot and little drawing. So the 6.5 foot is this way, 25 foot is that way, and you would put the little anti-stone on there like that. You can see they match up pretty well. So why don't we try and hone the Evide Sonnant Extra? Woo! Well, that's not so bad, Superior Shave fans that are humans. Let's try it that way. I put my little waxy apron over my legs because I am no longer Margot Robbie. They were good in their time, but their time is done. Alrighty then. We are going to stay on this, moving in this direction, just like this, until I have taken over that bevel. Oh, I need to watch the screen, don't I? Okay, Superior Shave fans and humans. I certainly hope Thiers Issard, the factory, had a nice summer break. They typically take off from the second week of August until just now. So they'll be back at work this Monday. And we had placed an order in, I think the second week of July, giving them 3 weeks to make all the razors. They didn't get it done in time. I would love to see those razors soon. And I'll certainly launch another ship toward them. And those scarce 2 employees to make all those razors. I'll also be sure to get their lovely calf hide strop back and some more of the dog knives. If you've looked at our website and write up the word dog knife into the search engine, you can't understand how wonderful this little piece of cutlery is until you have used it. It is a robust, everyday knife for the table. You could almost use it as a steak knife if they had a serrated version, and I think they do have one that's serrated. I'll have to buy that. It would make a really good steak knife. But it's sharp and it's nice and stiff, and very quickly it will become your favorite knife in your drawer. You see that. Why don't I put a little bit of slurry on there? Now remember, it doesn't matter in which way this stone moves relative to that razor. As long as the orientation of the razor on the stone is the same, the wheel shape that we are imparting to the bevel will remain consistent. In other words, you can do like this if you like. Obviously down here, I'm only touching down at that part. That's fun. Ooh, okay, that's some nice looking slurry there. There we go. And as I come to this side, I'm lifting up and I'm only touching toward the toe of the razor. The shape of these boos and the orientation of the Jared plate ellipsoid function dictates how you can use them. You always want to begin your razor work moving with the most intense wheel on the stone, which is what we're doing right now. We're staying aligned in the motion, the spine being perpendicular to this facet. I can put some wear on that side of the, over here is not getting much wear. And I can improve the even wearing of the stone by doing like this. And you notice I'm still keeping that orientation the same. I'm working on a different part of the stone, but I'm not moving across the shape that's inside of the stone any differently. If I could design the Coticule boos, I would have a big facet for the 6.5, something reasonable that's 90 degrees to that, and then something that's 45 to 60 degrees to that. That way you can use the stone with 3 different effective wheel shapes touching the razor edge over the course of your honing. So you can set in the edge with the shortest wheel, you can refine the edge that you've made, switching to the longer shape, and finish by moving on the stone 90 degrees relative to the axis with the most intense wheel for the longest diameter shape. As is typical, I need some more wear at the heel and especially at the toe. So I'm going to raise my knees up here a little bit and want to go back to that side. Get down, you. This will not make the razor narrower this way, but it will make the bevel wider because we're cutting to the spine side of the bevel right now. We are not near overtaking the razor's bevel completely with this shape. I don't know what Jim would want for that. Certainly it is my opinion that the steel on the Thiers Issard is so good that if you want to have the most intense curvature on the bevel, you can just work constantly in that direction and the finished razor product will be more lively, it will have more scratches on it from your honing, and it will shave better, and it will hold up just fine. But I think a lot of people will want less marks on the razor and they'd rather have a more modest version of it. All right, Superior Shave fans, let's see here. Sure, I can do a little bit more there and at the toe. Sorry, at the heel. The temptation to bust out those little wooden blocks with the diamond paste on them is high, isn't it? Those things work really fast. Some of you have commented, and I didn't put together an Amazon order for it, but I will very soon buy some blocks of wood that are little and buy some 3M diamond sheets that are 1,000 grit, and I will cut them down to 4x1 size and paste them onto the little blocks and sell that to you. That way you don't have to have the Jared plate for shaping, but you will have access to that wonderful shape, which is so good at establishing a nice concave bevel on any razor. That looks fantastic. Okay, I did a great job setting in the bevel down at the heel. Of course, the toe, you got to be more gentle. Don't try it this way at home, kids. I'm a trained professional with many, many cuts on my hands over the years. Actually, not that many. I've only cut myself with the... It's always the offhand that gets cut, by the way. And I've only cut myself with razors. Let's see, this is 15 years of doing that. I've probably cut myself... I remember 3 bad ones, and there might have been 2 other little small ones. But one of the 3 bad ones, I needed to go to the ER, or the walk in the doctor box for a couple of stitches. The other of the really bad one, at that very moment, I happened to have a good customer that is a doctor at the Mayo Clinic in the shop that we used to have. And he went and got me supplies on the spot that I don't remember if he had them, whatever, but he went and sewed me up right away and then said, here, that's for free, but you go get a tetanus shot right now. And I did. All right, Superior Shave fans, that looks pretty good. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know, the razors aren't perfect. There's plenty of bevel on there. Looks like I put in more concavity on the toe than the rest. Let me try to put a little bit more in the heel. Oh, no, that's too wide. Oh. There we go. That's good. Beep-a-dee-ba-dee. Now to do the same work on the show side of the razor. In other news, the small Chinese producers wrote me and said, hey, the bank wire worked, we got your money, and they're going to make my samples for the little 1/2 inch thick, 2 inch wide, 6 inch long, and hopefully extremely lightweight, rubber-based, diamond-topped, permanently shaped, bevel setting thingy. So we should see those. What is this, 6th of September? I bet you we see them right around Halloween. If they work good, maybe by early January we could have a stocking unit that would do that. And it won't be expensive. I'm shooting for a finished price below $50. How are we looking? Well, the razor is clearly a little wider down at the heel, which is not unusual. So the apparent bevel should show up more down there than up here. It looks like it's a little narrow there. You know, with the French razors, because of the way they're forged, their warp goes like this. If you look directly at the razor with a good microscope, especially a binocular stereo microscope, and move it this way, you can get a really good idea for the warp on any razor that way. And what you'll find is that on a German razor, it goes like this. Whoop. Always the middle part of the show side is the highest. On these French razors, it waves like that because of how they're forged. They don't heat up the razor once to get glowing orange and then smack it in the forging dies really fast the way the Germans do. The Germans have one heating and cooling cycle, several shapes of the die that are progressively more shaped, and they smack it hard from the rough draft most die to the finest die as quickly as they can, and then they quench it. The French way is one shaping die, a skinnier cylinder of the steel to be smacked in, less dropping force, more drops, and multiple heating cycles. So because of the multiple heating cycles, when you go to quench the French razor, or any French knife, I imagine, it has that gentle meander. And the German razors, the reason they always bend toward the show side is because the steel is, the blanks of steel are like a bale as they come as a raw piece of steel. And it wasn't always that way, but that's all they can do now. I'm going to rinse off and get right back with you. All right, we're back, Superior Shave fans, not our humans. Yeah, it's... I guess there's an oscillation. Let me think about this. Over here, the wave is going away from the show side, and that's why you can't see very much of the bevel. So from about the E in the Evide toward about 6 millimeters from the front, I need to target that area to cut in. You have to be very careful with pressure here. A little goes a long way at the toe. That was cutting in, but it was also cutting in at the very tip of the toe more than I wanted to. So now I'm trying to lean up the toe of the razor and thread the needle right along here with the area that's centered around about a centimeter behind the actual tip of the cutting edge. Yeah, it still needs a little more carving in there. This part's boring. Hold on. All right, Superior Shave fans and our humans. That took a solid 10 plus minutes of spot welding, as I call it. But I eventually did get a pretty decent bevel cut in that slightly askew area. And you can see on the non-show side, there's plenty there. I took the liberty because that was such hard work. I resurfaced the stone with my Jared plate. So we can align the little two parts here. Now to refine, we need to move parallel to this, which is, I don't know, about 45 degrees from the 6.5 foot. So that's probably like a what's 25 and 6.5 is, it's 2 meters and 8 meters. So that's 5 meters is in between them, isn't it? Okay, 3.24 times 550. About, what is that, like somewhere around 16.5 to 17 feet effective diameter will be going this way. So I'm going to try to do it that way. Where's my bean bag? Let me get my little bean bag here. I need my bench cookies. I don't have a facet that's easily accessible on this rock that's 90 degrees to the 6.5 foot carved in axis. Let's see what I could do. That's the 6.5 foot axis. So you'd want to go like that. All right. I'm going to shoot my shot here. Jim from Arizona. I feel like that's working good. It's just this stone is auto slurrying a little bit, and I don't want that. I want there to be as little garnets rolling around ahead of the razor for this last step as I can. Let's see, maybe I could try it going this way. So Jim from Arizona, I would hone on it this way with running water under a little stream for the very best inch of performance out of here. That edge is so damn thin though, I don't think it's going to take much to perform well. Well, that took a whole lot of finagling. This is my convex shellacked block with the gentle convexity this way. You're looking at the base of a Coleman Titan tripod, and let me tell you, for a tripod that's not moving around a lot, there is no better tripod on this planet for a tripod that the concern with how small it is when you're not using it is not a factor. Okay, Jim from Arizona, make sure when you close it, fingertip tugboat it ever so slightly toward the front of the razor. Let's see how this puppy sounds. Well, there you go. I'll get it cleaned up. Enjoy in good health and be careful with it. Honed all the way through with just the one stone. Thank you very much, Jim. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.